Hi everyone, I'm Kristen Daniel. This is the Padlet Tech Talk. Since no one joined, I'm going to just record what would be the call and then upload this to the Tech Talk so you can learn a little bit about Padlet. So I am going to share my screen and show you Padlet. Here we go. It's just a sec, I'm going to find my Padlets. So we will go to the Padlet that you may have seen in the course. As you can see, what Padlet is kind of like, I think of it as like a whiteboard where you can post different, individuals can post different notes, like little sticky notes. It's like a web page of a whiteboard with sticky notes. The sticky notes can then be moved around. The thing that's really nice about Padlet is they can represent all sorts of different digital media. So for instance, your Padlet could include a website that you wanted to link to. It could include a little video. There's all sorts of ways that your individual sticky note or a participant or student sticky note can be used as a way to aggregate different kinds of content. So I'm going to show you how to get one started. The first thing you need to do is go onto Padlet, padlet.com, and create an account. Padlet is free, and you just need to make sure that at your school there's no firewalls up that would prevent you from using it. Okay. So if I go to, I've created my account. I'm going to go to Padlet. There's a little box up here that says make a Padlet. I'm going to click on that. And you get to a page where it looks kind of like this. So you can say, well, it gives you all the instructions on the right and kind of walks you through. So you're going to give your Padlet a title. I'm going to call mine Padlet example. Then you can write a little description to show you how to use Padlet. And then down here it has a layout. These are the different ways that students or participants could enter their content. So what do you want it to look like? I kind of like free form, but if you want it to be more structured, you can choose grid. Stream means that the content is going horizontally across your screen. So we'll choose free form. You can choose a different wallpaper if you'd like. And then down here, so I'm scrolling down, it allows, it gives you some different options. I like to have the posting set at display author name above each post. So especially if you're using it in a class with students, that's nice because then you're going to know who's written what. But if it's if you want the students to actually have some, they just post without using their names, you don't have to click that. Comments allow viewers to comment on posts. I definitely want that for this because I'm going to do a collaborative project with my students. I'd like them to be able to comment on what others have written. Down here, you can add some tags if you'd like it to be searchable on the web. And then it gives you a little link, and this is the link, the address of your Padlet. So that's what you would share with your students. And you can always come back to this page to capture that again. So I've set everything up on this page. I'm going to click next. Get to people and privacy. This is a nice option if you want your Padlet to be protected. For instance, if you'd like there to be a password to enter it, sometimes that's a nice feature so that it's not a public Padlet. So you can choose password protected, and then you can actually pick your own password that you would share for your students. So for instance, let's say it's English 9, can just write that. Then those with access can write, read, moderate. We want them to write. This is nice if you're co-teaching or you're doing this with another teacher. You can enter the email of another teacher. So for instance, Chris Staple, who is also a facilitator in the intro course, I've given him access to my Padlet and he's done the same for his. There's some other options down here on remaking it, allowing anyone to copy it if you'd like, or and then the last one would be requiring an admin to make any approval before posts are published. I usually say no because that's just one more, it's another step that you'd be asking your students to go through. So we set privacy, and then that's it. So when I want to share this with my students, I go up here to the share button. And again, remember, we set a password. I want to go to share, export, embed. So it says here that the Padlet is password protected, so visitors will need to be able to, they'll be asked for the password first. But here is where I can copy the link if I want to put this link in any assignment and that make it clickable. If you're really would like to embed and you're going to get into a little bit of coding, that's what we do at GOA, is we actually embed the Padlet. What that basically does is, if I go here to my course, I'm going to show you what an embedded Padlet looks like. You actually probably all saw it because we embedded the Padlet in for the student-centered project. So I go to the student-centered project, and I'm sorry, that was Flipgrid. We embedded Padlet in the defining blended learning. So down here under how would you define it, you see that I've embedded a Padlet right in my Canvas page. And this can be done in most learning management systems. If you don't use Canvas, but maybe Schoology, this is a way to embed it right there on that page. Okay, one more thing I'm going to show you about Padlet, which I think is super helpful and will definitely give you a head start when you're just starting to play around with it. Within Padlet, there are examples of different other teachers that have created Padlets for their classes. To get to this page, when you're in your Padlet page, you click on, I'm going to go back to the main page here. There's a little question mark. I click on that, and it says here, where can I view samples? If you're not sure where, just right here, Padlet samples. And it takes you to a link for the gallery. So the gallery is where other folks have created Padlets. And I love this because not only can you see some different ways other teachers and folks, a lot of teachers you'll see use Padlet, have used it in their classes. It can give you some ideas of how to use it in yours. And a lot of these are you can copy them and just tweak them to remake them for your course. So it actually limits all of the stuff we just did. You can just copy it and you've got something already set up. So for instance, I'm going to go look at let's see, I'm going to do the writing one. So I click on this gallery, and you see that someone has already written, this is their Padlet. So what this is nice because a teacher has actually used different Padlets as ways to teach her students about writing. And if you click on each one, it takes you to one of her links. I'm going to scroll down and see what else I can find. Here's an inspiration wall. Let's look at that. So this is somebody who's used Padlet kind of like Pinterest. So they're saving different things that are inspiring to them, and they want to go back and look at again. So it's a way to curate some content. And then I'm going to look at one more. Here's a first grade bookshelf. One of the things I really like about Padlet is its use for elementary school students as well. Here, what a teacher did was created different books, little links for different books about that would help with specific content. So for example, some math books are here that she has listed underneath math. So another way to think of Padlet is a way for students to import content. I've seen it used really well in elementary classes where students are asked to solve a math problem, and they can show how to solve that math problem any way they'd like, and they can take a picture of how they've solved that. So for example, let's say they were asked to solve an equation of just show me what 2 + 2 + 3 looks like. And they get 2 apples, 2 oranges, and 3 bananas, and they take a picture of that and solve it. Post that up onto their Padlet for the class, and they've showed you something that is actually their own work. Padlets can be shared with parents, so it gives parents a way to see a student's work as well, if you're an elementary teacher. And then it works great in other levels with middle school and in upper school as a way to just curate students' content and collaborate. If you set the comments link, that setting, then students can, once they posted something, they can actually comment on it. You can ask them to explore what they've created. If they've got a link there displaying their some work that they've created, and then kids can comment. So that you have a really active, engaging, collaborative activity all in one space. So it's really a nice way to get your students to work together. That's about it. Let me go back to share screen. So if you have any questions about Padlet, please reach out to either Chris or I. We're happy to help you. We use it a lot at GOA, and Chris has used it in his actual courses when he was teaching at the Blake School. So that's it. Thanks so much. Bye.